Good morning and welcome back to When Pigs Fly. I am Patty and I'm here with Tracy and Renee. And today we have a special guest, but you need to sit with me for one quick second before we introduce her. First, we want to welcome all those brand new subscribers. We love you. Keep the comments coming. You're really inspiring us with more content. We want to give you what you need to get through. And as usual, we're going to share with you our experiences through this wild ride that we're on together. So I hope everybody's enjoying the beautiful May energies. And today we have a really special tie-in with energy and beauty and rejuvenation. And I'm going to hand the mic over to Tracy to introduce our special guest.
Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing? So I am super excited to introduce Kate because I have spoken about her a couple of times on air. And to me, Kate encompasses so much of what we speak to all the time on the podcast, to what energies are coming in right now, and to what I refer to as the future of wellness, the future of beauty. And I just think that she, as a person, encompasses so many beautiful qualities, and her passion for what she does, her relationship to the earth and the materials, plants, flowers, trees that she works with, and her energies that she brings. She's an esthetician. Maybe I should start with that. But she's so much more than that. She is such a full mind body alchemist. She really is amazing, and I know that she can speak to a lot of what she brings in her sessions, her treatments, her everything she does when she gets you in her room and on the table. So yeah. So yeah, there's going to be a lot to talk about. We're going to be speaking to beauty, to wellness, to rejuvenation, to relationships with the earth and the plants. And I'm going to start with that. And then Kate, I'm going to let you kind of introduce yourself as well. And then we will let the conversation just kind of go about organically.
Good morning. And thank you so much, Tracy, for inviting me to come on and talk about what it is I do as a holistic esthetician. And, that is, I'm a licensed holistic esthetician. I went to school back in 2005. So it's been about 17 years. And when I went to school, it was, you have to go to get your license to do the credentials. But I knew that everything that I wanted to use as an esthetician was going to come from herbalism school and aromatherapy and from more of a natural element, because that's who I was as a person. So, you go through the hours that you need to and you graduate. And right off the bat, I went to work in a spa to get experience and hands-on. And I was just definitely not somebody that wanted to open my own business and be an entrepreneur, but I knew every day showing up and 50-minute facials back to back and putting on products that were coming out of plastic tubes that had preservatives and isolated new things that were aggressive to the skin. And it just didn't feel in line with who I was as a person, and providing a service that is heart-centered and comes from who I really am. And there was like a little disconnect in that. So I would start after a couple years of working. It was a beautiful spa here in Melbourne, Florida, European spa. And they used really nice, higher end products and things. But anyway, I found myself smuggling in, a little raw honey or infusing a little calendula in an oil and bringing it in because I knew it would be the best option for that person's skin, or guiding the person after the treatment to go to the local herbalist to help their skin condition. All the while still having to do peels on people and, do aesthetic treatments that were harming in order to heal. And, in the world of aesthetics right now, that's where we are with 90% of the people seeking aesthetics treatments. It's, can you peel my skin? Can you dermaplane? Can you microderm? And I knew there had to be another way. So anyway, after you have that approach you want to be in and the approach that you're I just kind of started disconnecting from that. And, after 3 years of being in the spa, I took a year to, I was collecting a lot of sea glass and tapping into creative energy and making sea glass jewelry, doing wire wrapping. And I really started journaling and writing down everything that I would want to have in my aesthetics business. Every little detail, from what I wanted it to feel like, first and foremost, the energy when you walk into the room, the plants, the materials, the skincare I would like to work with, some of the services, even playing around with like numbers of what would I, charge for my facial. And so anyway, I was doing all of that, and fast forward a few years, in 2010, I opened the doors to Blue Morpho, and the skincare line that I chose to work with, that was another thing where I wrote down everything I would want in a skincare line, from, on farms that were paid fair wages, organic processes, herbal driven, so just wrote down everything I want in a skincare line. And I didn't even know if it existed. I mean, to the dark bottles to preserve the integrity of the antioxidants in the serums. And I was actually really, still am, but into yoga practice and everything. And I was looking for organic cotton sports bras and stuff. So I found the store Clary Sage Organics out in San Francisco. And I was on their website and I was ordering some yoga clothes, and I noticed they had a small section for skincare. And this was right when I was manifesting Blue Morpho. And I looked, and it's now called Laurel Skin, but back in the day it was called Sequoia Beauty. And I looked at her ingredients and her, kind of philosophy, her background. She was only selling at farmers markets at the time. And so I ordered my yoga clothes, and then I ordered a few of her products to try. Well, when the package arrived and I opened it, and she still has this one mask, it's called the Brighten mask. And it's a mix of fruit and leaves and roots. And when I opened that mask, the energy of the plants within that was so palpable. And I mean, I could just feel it, and at the time I was ordering other skincare lines, all of course organic, very high integrity lines of what they were, showing. But every time I would open a package, I'd be like, ooh, like the peanuts are plastic, or, it's in a plastic container. You open it and the plant material felt, for a better word, like, no vibrancy, no life force. But anyway, when I opened Laurel's mask, the Brighten mask, and it's a base of fruits and leaves and roots. So, I loved those elements in there for the skin, for the aesthetics. And then I applied it and I was like, oh my gosh, like I need to definitely connect with this brand. And when I think I called or emailed Laurel, it was like, and we still are, I mean, I've helped her formulate her products, and I've taught at her retreats, but she is 100% here for the earth, for the people, for healing. But she's kind of behind the scenes, plant energetic, creating the formulas. And I've been kind of her bringing it forward, even as a single esthetician. I think still to this day, I'm one of her, largest accounts and fan club. But so anyway, when I called her and we spoke, I was asking her about her hydrosols, and I was doing a lot of research and with essential oils and hydrosols. And I asked her about the pH, because I don't know, like I'm 5 planets in Virgo, purity, perfection. Like I wanted to know, like, what's the pH of the hydrosol? And now, this many years later, I know that all hydrosols and plant waters are slightly acidic, and that's important for the acid mantle of the skin. But anyway, she said, I'll tell you the pH of the hydrosol. She's like, but truly everything in pure form in nature is exactly as it should be. And it is perfect pH. And, you know, basically she was saying it was like almost an offense to the plant water to be like, what is, you know. But anyway, Laurel works so closely with the farms and the process, literally from planting the seed all the way through going out to the farms and bringing back the material to her barn. And it's all processed with human hands in-house with love and integrity and passion. And that is something that was so important to me as an esthetician, as a holistic esthetician. Literally, I wanted the experience from the seed. I mean, talk about high hopes here, but from the seed, growing in healthy soil from a farmer that cares about how he's treating the land and the soil, grown, processed, shipped to the end of my fingertips, this 100% full circle experience. And, you know, so flashback to the spa, polysorbate, glycolics, fillers, mass produced, you know, to this experience that is just a beautiful experience from the moment the seed is put in the ground to the end of my fingertips to you. And that's what I wanted. And anyway, Laurel's been my main skincare line from the beginning. And she allows me as an esthetician to work with whole fruits, literally whole fruits that are dehydrated, fresh, roots, leaves, you know, just, and truly put that, like Tracy was saying, alchemy, you know, tincture this with that, with the little petals and knowing, of course, the function and the nutrients in each of those materials, but being driven by the energetics of the plant, the energetics of the person coming into the treatment room. And it's very much an art as much as it is a science, but it's been really magical, really. And I love creating that for people. And so that's a little bit of it. So Laurel, you know, this isn't like a plug for Laurel, you know, she's a good friend of mine now, but she allowed me, you know, to do what I wanted to do and what I dreamed of doing. And not until recently, 4 years ago, I was able to move into a house. I used to live beachside and the air is really salty. And although I love that for cleansing and all of that, I moved inland and have about 13 raised cedar garden beds and have been having so much fun each season planting my own garden skincare flowers and from seed, following the moon cycles with the highest intention and love and purity, and compost from my own soil, you know, amending the soil with my own compost, I should say. So, and growing calendula and cornflowers and infusing my own oils and making some of my own products. And that has been amazing too, because it's just, you know, Laurel's in Petaluma, California. And although she gets all of her plant materials within 100 miles of the barn where they're processed, I could go out my back door. I brought some of my little calendula that I'm drying, so you can see some of them. But, you know, plant these from organic or heirloom seed and grow them and bring them into my home apothecary and create products within a few feet of where they're grown. And every day I check on them, every morning, every night. You know, I pick each little flower bloom by hand, and not only do I formulate for the quality and the aesthetics and how it's going to affect your skin. Calendula is the embodiment of sunshine and rejuvenation and builds collagen and elastin and heals so many skin conditions. But also infuse that with so much life force and so much love. And, you know, it's like that whole that guy that did the water experiment, and he talked to the water and he gave it love. And, how does that water crystallize compared to, water that's just poured and, not given that extra boost. But anyway, and it's been, again, a really amazing feedback that people that just, I can't live without this serum. I named it yellow. I like the color yellow. But, just because after the sunshine, after vibrancy, brilliance, gold, I just, and every year the formula is, the root of the formula or the base is always calendula flower, but it is, the other few ingredients in there will change, just on what kind of divine guidance for that year, or what is inspiring me to put into that formula. But yeah, so anyway, it's, that's a little bit of a background of what, I like to, my practice is. So the full circle experience, definitely coming from a place of being heart-centered. And the first 5 years of my business, I didn't even know about or care about income. Like, speaking about like actual, like real things, it was kind of like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to love this. I'm going to build it exactly how I want it, and the feeling and the energy. And the clients came, and, I was able, within 2 years, able to buy a beautiful aesthetics bed that was hydraulic, and it, was very comfortable. And, I built very slowly, and organically, as far as like the business, from one little room to now having a retail store and a beautiful treatment room that was custom built for me. And, but anyway, I learned all of that along the way. But to me, it was more important to create the experience first. And quite honestly, not until 2022, so just a year ago in December, when we opened the retail store with my treatment room in the back, did I ever have a sign. So from 2010 to 12 years with no sign. And quite honestly, over those years, I did no advertising either. It actually felt really weird and gross to even advertise. I know that sounds kind of strange, but I was like, I don't want to go in a magazine. What does someone see? Just Blue Morpho Skin Spa, organic facials. Like, there's that, to me, is like dead energy, and I understand, like, people, but I tried that a couple times and nothing ever, like one person. And it wasn't even like really an ideal client, so 100% energy is so palpable. And truly, if, I do have estheticians sometimes reach out, how can I build my business? How can I do that? And it's really just about passion, integrity, and what you do when you're in that room. You could stop me at any time, but I also wanted to talk about, the future of medicine and wellness. And, you think about wellness, which is just this kind of the sick care community that we have going on in the United States. But, when you go in, say you're going into your primary care physician or your endocrinologist or whoever it is, and you sit down, do they make eye contact with you? Do they just sit in the room and maybe silence for 5 seconds and feel you, like touch, like, is there presence there? Because not only is there never really, I mean, I'm sure, there are some good doctors out there that really sit and care and take the time, but it's almost like taking away from your health. Sitting in that kind of, for me, if I ever have to go to the doctor, like, they close the door, and that makes me a little claustrophobic. And then you smell the chemicals and the cold air, and you're sitting on a crinkly white thing that makes you feel like, I don't know, it just is a really uncomfortable. I always like crack the door open a little bit and like stand up and like move around. But anyway, when somebody comes in for, and yeah, it's a facial, but it's not really, it's I touch your face, I massage your face. We do lymphatic, we do gua sha, we put it on all the antioxidants. 100% all of that's covered. But the minute I close the door and come in there, whether it's for an hour and a half, I am 100% present with you, with the plants in my back bar, with your energy. And it's just so much of that is intention and presence. And it's just being there with you for a solid 60, 75, 90 minutes. And my 100% undivided attention is on you. And one of the gifts, you know, I can say it's a gift now at this point, but when I touch somebody's body and just kind of, you know, a lot of times when they first lay down, I'll put a little rainbow jade or some sort of eye pillow on them, little pressure on the head, push down their shoulders. You know, this area is the head was so important, so much going on there. But I can instantly feel, is it a mushroom top energy? And like, do I need to take my arms and just kind of tap down their body, go down their legs, hold their feet for a few minutes? Some people, before we even begin the facial, I'll wrap their feet in towels and maybe, you know, some sort of salt on the bottom of it, but something just to kind of bring them there. And it's a whole nother level of communication. There's no like, it's just them feeling safe, grounded, secure, and receptive. And it's really, truly only in that place that parasympathetic rest, that theta brainwave, you know, that real change can happen. And that's, you know, what I believe, you know, that Tracy's talking about too, is like real shifts in energy and feeding not only the soul, but the skin, you know, all these different levels can bring about so much change in that person and so much vibrancy and lighter and rejuvenated, you know. So yeah, their skin will look good. That's just a byproduct. It's like, yeah, that those fruits will give you those specific antioxidants, you know, to repair sun damage. The petals will soften the skin and increase cell turnover. The roots give that gelatinous hyaluronic acid and plumping of the skin. And the leaves give you the minerals for the collagen, you know. And sometimes I'll just use one of those elements, sometimes all of those elements, but being guided by the plant energetics, the person's energy. And I intend, and it always is, a complete whole body, soul, mind reset. And that's for 17 years. That's all, you know, every single person that comes in, that's what I do. So anyway, but yeah, I mean, I'm obsessed with beauty. I'm a Taurus moon. So everything is about, how does it smell? How does it taste? How does it feel? Is it pure? You know, I'm very, very sensitive to chemicals and energy and all that stuff. So that is a blessing and also a curse, but mostly a blessing. Yeah. So
Kate,
there's any specific.
I get to enjoy you all the time, and I could obviously rave about you, but I'm so interested, Patty and Renee, I would love for you to, I know, Patty, you're going to have okay, did everyone catch this and this and this and this? She said so many amazing golden nuggets, and Renee's going to come in and say, this is what the energy does. So I would love to actually hear both of your comments.
Sure. So loud and clear as Kate was describing her entire process from start. So Kate is an energy master. For anybody who listens to our podcast, she is an energy master and is living her life exactly how we are meant to do it now in this ascension. It's textbook down to how she followed the energy from Gaia into her business, which is completely energy built. She didn't do, advertising and marketing, but she also felt the energy. So let me try this. And I think this is really important for anybody who is stepping out and following their passion and going, all she did is love what she does. And she loves her clients, and she loves her clients so much that every single ounce of energy that gets in that room has her touch and her love on it. And we kind of spoke to this in a similar way about food, but what she's doing is just so important in so many ways. And we want you guys to think outside of this just being, like she said, like it's so much more than just a facial. She's bringing, and this is what we're doing now, is we're expanding our energy to tie into Gaia's energy. And then beyond that, it's actually beyond that. But step one for us is, are we paying attention to that energy and really feeling it and enjoying it? I mean, Kate, what you're doing, and thank you so much for sharing that, because for me, the words that jumped out were absolute energy master. And this is exactly how we're all meant to move forward in the fifth dimension, textbook and beyond.
Yeah. And something too that, like
Kate,
back in the beginning when I was saying in the spas, everyone's going and they're like, can you microderm my face? Can you dermaplane my face? Can you aggressively touch me? And it's like, it's the complete opposite of what I'm doing. How can I create collagen in your skin, plumpness in your skin by giving you that by boosting your life force energy, by giving to you, by feeding to you? Now, do I exfoliate? Yeah, everything's fruit acids are exfoliating. Marshmallow root brings this deep hydration, so then the skin cells, the antioxidants can penetrate in the skin. And let's build your collagen in your epidermis by giving you this beautiful experience of relaxation and rest and stuff that feels good. I don't even use a mag light. I don't turn on a light. And how does that feel? You put this bright light on somebody's face and look at their flaws. I do facials in the complete pitch dark. It's like, well, it's a little bit of light, but I don't need light. I can do it all just through touch, touch the skin. Where are you holding that tension? Where are those emotions stored in your skin? Should I just hold your heart chakra for 5 minutes? You know what I mean? And just run that energy through. It's like, and there's knowing, there's the voice that you hear, there's visualization. And when I think about that, it is just a knowing. And even before clients come in, I know exactly, like it can shift, when they're laying, but I almost always will know, okay, that person needs the leaves today. They need this. They need double compresses on their neck. They need tapping on their feet. It's like, I just know it. I don't know what, it's just one of those things. Yeah.
Well,
Cool.
There's an authenticity, that word came into. I want to throw that in, and I'll tell you why. When you're exploring your passions, and particularly if you want to open a business, right? Having the guts, like you easily could have said, oh, what's the most popular selling product? I'm going to feature that and get a bunch of people. No, you followed the energy. And and by the way, the biggest way to keep your vibration high is that authenticity. So yeah, that was energy master, authenticity. I'm sure we'll have more before the end. Renee, what are you seeing, Mama?
well, what I loved is, and I think people need to pay attention to, when she first was thinking about doing this, how she wrote down exactly what she wanted. She basically was putting that energy out there. This is what I want. And she even said it. Like, I don't know if this is possible, but this is what I want. And it all came to fruition. This is it. So it's really putting the energy to it and get your mind. And that's what I love that you did, Kate, and that you continue to do. You don't get your head involved. This is this genuine you, this true, master of energy, and of really paying attention and following what feels right to you and what feels right to that person. Because in case nobody caught that, notice every single thing that she does is specific for that particular person. And you could feel it when she talked about it. You could feel the energy. Well, you can just stop and feel the energy that she's got right now, just on screen, is just exactly what Patty said. This authentic, beautiful, peaceful, calm, really connected energy into the earth and into what she is creating in this. And I don't mean to talk like you're not sitting there, Kate, but this energy of, what's being created in this whole field. So being able to plant the seeds and grow that and to be nurturing them and to be checking on them all the time, the energy that's going into all of that and how Mother and Father Earth are responding with that aspect. And even, when you were talking about, and when you were showing, the things there, like it was, you could feel that not only the love that you had, but the love that all of the plants have for you. Like it's such a beautiful exchange that then she is able to bring that into, somebody having a facial, which is, saying a facial is just so silly because it's really a whole body that you're doing, but, it's that piece that I just love. And I know that people will be like, how do I get this? I want to buy the stuff. So I love that you brought in, I think it was Laurel stuff too, that you clearly, sell that as well, that I think people need to really stop and pay attention and feel when you're putting stuff on. I think I said this off screen, that when you're putting things on your body, when we're getting ready in the morning or in the evening, whatever, you're taking the shower, are you just naturally just, oh man, you're just in this robotic thing and you're not stopping and feeling what's going on and what you're putting onto your skin? There's so many things that I had bought that was, oh my God, this is going to be so fabulous. This is organic. And I'll get it. And I'm like, oh my God, like, no, like you can just feel it. It's like, the envelope comes in or whatever the box and you're like, oh, I can feel that energy right now. Like, I don't know. And they're like, no, clear it. Let's feel. And it's just not right. But you just talking about everything and feeling that beautiful energy to it and knowing, and even when you're describing it, and I think Tracy, you did such an amazing job. The very first podcast, you talked about the facial with Kate. And it was what I was like, oh my God, I got to get to Florida. I book a facial. And I know you're booked out for some time, but nonetheless, it's this thing of, I really say to all of our listeners, when you go for a facial, when you go for a massage, when you go for whatever, be quiet, be still, and feel what's going on. And if that doesn't feel right, go to the next person, because Kate, you brought up a really great point. When you go to the doctors, you go anywhere. Are they taking the time to really look you in the eye? Are they really listening to you? Or is it that robotic answer that they're giving for everybody? Well, this is what everybody does. Well, no, that's not what everybody does. Kate, you do that so beautifully of, this is what this person needs, and it. I mean, I just love this whole thing and everything that you bring to not only people that come in and see you, but even selling anything, shipping anything out, and just the space that you're creating within the world in general, because that is standing out. Yeah. So thank you for all that you do and for just it's amazing.
So Renee, see, I knew I'd get more stuff coming in. So Renee, as you were talking, let's talk about how the conscious creation that happened here. So many people say, how do I manifest? How do I manifest? Right. First of all, we all manifest. You're either doing it by default or as a conscious creator, right? So Kate consciously created her business. And I would double down on Renee. And what did she do? She wrote down, here's the components, right, of what I want. I don't know where it exists, right? It's okay to be in the field of I don't know. That's where we need to be, because the curiosity is what creates that energy that matches what you're creating in your thought. So she knew, this is what I want. She wrote it down. And how did it come in? She was buying a sports bra. See?
Exactly. Yeah.
Bingo. She was buying a sports bra, though, that was in alignment with who she is. And lo and behold, sports bra, skincare. What? This is exactly when we say, write down all the stuff that draws you in, that brings you passion, and stay in alignment with that. And she made this connection with someone that now she co-creates her products with. And I mean, this is like this is exactly like the stuff we want you guys to just listen to and really grab on and come back and listen to this. Go back and hear what she said now after this discussion. Come back and listen again. And so anybody that says, I can't manifest, and she didn't stop what she was doing. She took the steps and you follow the energy. So this is
Yeah.
amazing.
And
Like,
I can't even tell you how many in alignment confirmation in 2000, I don't know what year that was, maybe 2012, I was getting my clinical certification in aromatherapy and traveling up to New York back and forth, a week here, a week there, but really, getting to know the plants on a really deep scientific level, energetic level. But with each essential oil, I would take the oil and I would sit with it on my meditation pillow in a quiet room, and I would just hold it to my heart. And as I was getting to know it, because I was working with these, I would ask it, what are your gifts and what do you bring and what energy, can I use in the treatment room with it? But it was really cool. One time I had white rose, and rose has the highest alchemical vibration of any flower, but white rose is even higher. So I was sitting with white rose and I was meditating with it, and it was just fun. And an hour later, I was going to a Native Plant Society meeting, and I was going to pick up my friend that was in the Plant Society, and I was pulling up to their house, and I was just pulled on the side of the road, and I was looking out my window, and over this little wooden picket fence, there was this, it looked like a hibiscus flower or something, but of course I'm going to always like, what kind of flower is that? And it drew me out of my car, up the sidewalk, into this person's yard to see that what was draping over that fence but a white rose. Like, how much confirmation, first of all, in Florida, you don't see white roses. Like, that's very rare. And I just, at that moment, you almost want to, you're like, wow, like I was just sitting with that oil, and it's almost thanking me for, taking the time to get to know it. But so many things like that, just magical things happen like that all the time that are just confirmation.
And I think
absolutely.
yeah. And people need
Yeah.
to pay attention to that. Like all these little things.
Yeah.
Like, it would have been very easy for you, Kate, to just sit there and wait for your friend and like look at, but like how aware you are to recognize. And I think that's a big thing. Like a lot of people, like we don't stop and really just look. And like you said, get out of the car, go. Some people, might have been so caught up in, like what I say, life, of like, oh my God, where is she? She's not coming in. You didn't we got to get there in time. But I love that you actually got out of your car and went to look and see, and then got that validation and really sat with that appreciation and all of that, because I don't know, I just think it's so amazing. And, that's where this whole energy is going. You've been tapped in for many, many years. And, we now have this beautiful energy here within Mother and Father Earth that is so completely different than what we have been. That's really waking everybody up to feeling, to stop it. And that's exactly what you're talking to, like feeling, not only you feeling, but what your clients are feeling, or really your friends, because I feel like everybody's like your friend, like it's clients at that point. And Tracy, I'd love to hear what you want to say here.
Yes, so I want to jump on because I obviously have been seeing Kate for years and years and years, and she really is a forerunner in the energetics. Now she has been practicing for years, and what is so amazing is that I'll use the word humble. Like Kate does not, she's just quiet. You walk in and it's such a testament to not using words or accolades or here's all my diplomas and certifications. And, just the fact that she didn't advertise, that her energy is so palpable and vibrant without any words, even in the treatments. You just walk in and it's just there. It's such a powerful essence of her and everything she offers. And the fact that she was able to accomplish that in the old energies, and I would be so now it's just so amazing when you meet someone and you realize, the more I learn, the more I see about energetics and where we were and where we're going. And to realize that, wow, Kate has been practicing this very successfully, because we've spoken before how we are now in the energetics of a more organic, natural, speaking to what the future of wellness is, what the future of health, well, and it's not even future, it's now. Health, wellness, beauty, rejuvenation. It's available and it's powerful and it's potent, and Kate brings it. She's practicing it. She offers it. It's so amazing to witness. And it's such an example to everything we've spoken about on podcasts, because we could break it down on so many levels, manifesting your dreams, creating through love and passion, being true to your own integrity, the power of the earth, the power and communication with plants, fruits, the trees. And then just really, we are in a realm and energy of a new definition of what beauty and wellness is. And I've said to Kate for years, like, it pisses me off. Why do plastic surgeons make so much money? And why does medicine industry have such great results? Because you're the power, you're the magic, and I'm going to hold it 100% that that's the world I want to live in, that Kate is the expert. She is the specialist in her field. And she is that. And to me, she is the specialist. She is the expert. She is the top tier of beauty and wellness. And I know our world says, oh, plastic surgery and Botox, and, Kate spoke to, but we all know that that is all shifting and it's going to realign. Because in my world, Kate receives all the abundance, whatever, if it's money or, and it's so interesting to me that I don't want to speak for you, Kate, but she's not into titles and accolades and, oh, look how awesome I am. In all the years I've known you, you are just like this silent, beautiful alchemist of beauty and strength, which that's where we're headed. That's the world I want to live in. So it's just, you're such an amazing example. And I live in Florida and I get to see her at least once a month.
I'm moving in with you, Trace.
Kate,
but
it is too, it's really, even after all of these years, I'm so grateful. I absolutely love what I do. Like, there's just, when I go in there and it's a brand new hour to be with somebody, and how privileged I am that I can bring that peace and that reset and that experience to people. Like, that is such a gift to myself, to be able to be, you can come in there and I can give you this hour and this is going to be like everything you need. It's just I can do this for you. Like, it makes me really happy. And and it's not very often. I mean, I've never had like an intake form. There's so many estheticians that are like, hey, I'm going to email you this 5-page. I can touch your skin, and within seconds, I know exactly what's going on. I know if you're using Retin-A or glycolics, or, like, the skin cells will tell me immediately what's going on. So for you to say, this is what I don't like about that is like, heck no. Like, I don't give me an intake form. Don't even tell me what you're using. I don't even want to know. I already know. Like, I know that sounds weird, but it's that, and sitting down, and again, it's clinical, and it's me saying, what do you not like about yourself? I don't like is that the way, I mean, do I really want to bring up what you don't like about yourself? It's like, no. It's just, but yeah, it's just a communication, and everything is downloaded within seconds, within touch, as far as what the skin needs. And so that's cool.
What amazes me is when you were talking about whatever the plant, and it, builds collagen and it does this, like that is fascinating because I think, I mean, for me, like, I'm like, really? Holy crap. Like, that's really amazing. I think a lot of us don't even recognize or know that. So, and you just, I mean, that comes naturally to you, I'm sure, because all the, what you've learned, through the years and whatever. But it's the thing, like when you were saying that, I was like, oh my God, really? There's things out there that do that. So, and I'm sure I'm not the only one out there that is like, what? this can really be. So how awesome is that? And that your products, that's what you focus on. And how are we going to bring really the skin, the body back to life? Because if we're here, we're bringing it in to every aspect, and it really, carries.
Yes. And a side or a byproduct of the treatment is, yes, you mean firm skin, even skin tone, all of that. When you're, I like the example of if you take there's a plant outside and the leaf is turning brown, you can use, I don't know, I shouldn't say brand names or anything because I don't want to like lessen. I don't ever judge anybody. You could do, there's absolutely no judgment ever. But if you take a leaf and it's turning brown and you paint it green, okay, it's like now a green leaf. Does it have life force? Does it have vitality? Does it, or let's look at that brown leaf and say, do you need more water in your roots? Do you need more minerals? Do you need nutrition? What is your environment like? Do we need to take away the dryer sheets that are polluting the air? Do we need to like move that tree so you get more sunshine? It's more like feeding and correcting so that leaf is now green. But we live in, the beauty world that's basically like, I have a brown spot, I'm going to burn it off and then I'm going to bleach the cells. It's like, holy shit, like that's like, wow, you're gonna do, it's like, this is your body, your skin is a living organ. Like, let's see what can we give to boost it and it heal itself. That to me is radiant beauty. It's giving you what you need. It's, do you need more minerals? Do you need more? I mean, there's specific antioxidants, in leaves and green catechins and green tea and things that protect from UV. And I mean, even going into the summer season, it's like, okay, are you getting more tomatoes, more lycopene, those deep purple and red fruits to give you those antioxidants? Because back in the day, maybe right around 2010, I was mostly plant-based, vegan, doing all the green juices and everything. And I was out on my dad's boat in the end of July and we were going down to the inlet for lunch. And I'm like really weird about like sunscreen and feeling smothered. And I just never have gone down that route because I don't like the feel of it. But anyway, I was drinking a lot of doing the green juice thing, but those antioxidants actually do store in your skin cells. And I went all the way down to the inlet and back, a few hours in direct sun, not a single burn. No, it's just a testament to antioxidants, on your skin, in your body, building up that resiliency. Now, I'm not saying, go out in the sun and, depends on your lifestyle and this and that, and, protective clothing. And it's a relationship with the sun. The sun's superfood for sure. But anyway, it just is a testament to antioxidants. The sun is a free radical, and the more antioxidants you have on your body, the more protection you have. And that's life force energy, antioxidant energy. I'm definitely not, we live, there's so much fear mongering too in the beauty community of melanoma and wear your sunscreen and stay out of the sun. And, but my personal opinion, that's not the answer. We need the sun. You can microdose the sun. It's, there's a lot of factors involved, but anyway, I don't like that whole fear mongering. And from the whole very minimal people that I have known through all these years as an esthetician that have had melanoma, they're actually the people that are not in the sun. They're the people that are the surfer, out in the sun and stuff. I haven't seen skin cancer be an issue for them. So, but anyway, that's a whole nother topic. I can go
Well,
really deep into that one. But.
well, I think you brought up an important thing here, though, in that what decisions are you making for your body that are based on fear,
Oh yeah.
right? You're helping them make a decision based
Yeah.
on love and loving all the ingredients. And that is an important thing to consider and saying, like when you're holding that in your hand, why am I
Hmm.
going to put this on my skin? Is it out of fear? Because if it is, throw that sucker in the trash.
Yeah,
Call
that's
Kate
so true.
and say, what should I do? But quite honestly, it's true. It's, how many things are you doing to your body in any way? Consuming, putting on, right? That is fear-based.
Hmm.
These are things that in this new energy, we got to shift. We got to shift and say, oh, how does this feel? And why am I doing this? Why am I about to do this? Very important question to ask yourself and that have that presence and the
Yeah.
awareness. And for those of you who say, oh, I'm not in touch with my guides, they're not giving me any signs. Um, be present. Be present and slow your roll. You got to just, I know we say this all the time, but slow your roll, look around, listen and feel and start feeling. And you do the signs and the confirmations are everywhere. And by the way, in the new energetics that we're getting in May, these signs are
Oh, yeah.
becoming crystal clear. Like you
Yeah.
can't deny that it's like, and it's quick. It's like if you ask for confirmation, boom, it's there and it's clear
Yeah.
quick, right? You,
That's, I mean, talking about these energies, so this isn't aesthetic space, but this is something that literally just happened at 9:45 this morning. Can I just tell a quick story?
of course.
Okay, so Ken, my partner, he and I love to mountain bike ride. It's something we're passionate about. We do together. And when we met 10 years ago or whatever, I had a $500 Trek bike and I thought it was a mountain bike. And I was like, oh my God, it's $500. Like it's a nice bike or whatever. And he like really introduced me. He's like, and then I finally got a nice mountain bike. And they can be a few $1,000s or a little more expensive. But anyway, I've had two. And the last one I got in 2019. And I've ridden it. It's a great bike. And there's been a lot of upgrades in the mountain biking, components and things. And mine needed a new derailleur and it needs a new chain and it needs like hydraulic work and stuff. And so Ken's telling me, he's like, okay, like to get your mountain bike tuned up, it's going to be like $1,200. And I'm like, oh, I'm like, okay, well, if I need to do it. So anyway, and then when I started looking at newer mountain bikes and there's been this excess of inventory through this whole like COVID of the last few years. And now there's these incredible sales. So I was like, oh my gosh, like that, maybe I should just sell my bike and get a new mountain instead of put the money into it. But anyway, so I thought about it for a while and I was like, it's the only one thing I do that's like kind of like to me seems a little like it seems like it's a little spendy to me. But I ordered a new mountain bike. It was a great sale. And it had all these like cool things that new mountain bikes have. So anyway, and Ken was like, okay, I'm going to clean your bike up. I'm going to get it shifting really good, and we've taken great care of it, but we're going to sell it at a really, great price. And so I was like, okay, I got the new one, sell the old one. I'll put that money towards it. So he lifts it. He takes it into work yesterday, cleans it up, takes pictures of it, he puts it on Craigslist. He's like, okay, when I sold mine, it just takes the right person to buy it. It could take a couple months. I was like, oh, okay. And still in the back of my head, I'm like, was it the right decision to get a new mountain bike? Like, should I have done that? But anyway, so he puts it up on Craigslist and then he calls me. He's like, oh my God. He's like, I got an email within like minutes of me putting it up on Craigslist. And I'm like, okay. So he's like, are you going to be home tomorrow at like 10? I was like, yeah, well, he has it at work. So he's like, I'm like, have him just meet you there at the shop because the bike's there. And so anyway, the guy drives over from Orlando and this morning meets him at 10. Ken calls me at 10:10. He's like, sold it. It sold almost instantly, but the magic of this story. So that's cool. So it sold instantly. And my new mountain bike arrives today. So like it sold within hours of it arriving.
Bingo.
Confirmation that it was the right decision. But this is the part that I said to Ken this morning. I said, do you now believe in angels or like God? Like, do you believe in magic now? So the bike's color, my new bike's color is sage, a sage color. And Ken's like, what are you going to name it? This was a couple weeks ago. And he's like, sage, you're going to call it sage? And I'm like, yeah, I like the sage. I'll name it sage. So the new mountain bike's already named. So the guy that came this morning to buy the mountain bike from Orlando, Ken's like, I'm going to spell it to you. His name, Sage.
Yes.
The guy's name is Sage. Sage. He's Middle Eastern. He goes Sage. And Ken said, oh, how do you spell that? Sage. Like, are you kidding me? You know what I mean? Like, that's like, holy shit. Like that, the guy that bought my mountain bike, the day my mountain bike arrives, his name is Sage. It was instant. So I mean, that's pretty cool.
Again, like Kate held a masterclass in manifestation today here. I hope everybody's listening.
I know,
to this.
right?
But that's exactly like you instantly manifested exactly the scenario that you preferred to happen, right?
Yeah.
And look at the confirmation you got. This is exactly what. So in May, we can look for more and more and more of this. And it is, and it's, even if you don't 1,000% trust that your guides are sending you messages, like they are. Yeah. Play along with it, because the more you play with it and keep that communication going, the stronger it gets. It's, you won't cut your best friend off and stop talking to her, right? No, you want to keep the relationship going, right? Or your partner, right? It's the same thing, like have a relationship with them and they're going to give you all the goodiness. Like,
I mean,
so
that
cool.
To me, I was just like, so all of that guilt I felt about, like, oh God, is this the right time? Like, it's just like gone. It's like, that was the right decision. It's good. That's my thing. I need, entering the 40s is a whole new thing with the body. So I'm like, I need that cardio. Like, I've never needed it before. So the mountain bike is a good decision. Definitely. Exercise.
I love
that. That's a
ladies.
pro beauty tip too.
I love that. Well, can I just ask one question? And I'm pretty sure I know the answer, but I'm asking this question anyway. So with each season, the skincare should be changing. Is that correct? Right? Because our skin is continually changing.
Yeah. I mean, our skin is changing every single day. So, it's kind of like, yes, it can seasonally shift. Going into the fall is a time where I'll do more what I call a whole fruit peel. And there's no peeling because it's a whole fruit. There's every component of the fruit is present. It's not an isolated synthetic nutrient. But in the fall, I tend to do more like kind of resurfacing or, working on repairing from being out in the boat all day or out in the sun, and, then follow that with leaves to like boost the skin's nutrition. So yeah, there is seasonal skincare, but not really. I mean, it's all kind of the same components: the hydration, the moisture, the feeding the skin, the touching the skin, the massaging, exercise. I mean, the basis is all pretty much the same. You're not going to go drastic changes in your skincare, really. I mean, the summer in Florida is so hot and oppressive, and we get very dehydrated because we're always kind of sweating a little bit. So you might say like rose water. Rose is cooling to the skin. It's hydrating. Maybe you would do a rose water in the summer and something different in the winter. Just change out your hydrosol or peppermint hydrosol for the heat, to take the heat out of your body. And so there's different variations, but it's not like a drastic. I mean, you might go from an oil serum to a balm in the winter, but we don't have huge variations. I mean, we have a short period in Florida that it's really actually dry. It's usually pretty humid. But yeah, I mean, the skin is just so different. That's why people, like, you can't really say, people lay down, oh, my skin is dry, it's this, it's that. Like, dry skin actually creates oily skin sometimes. And, it's more of just getting it balanced. Yeah. I don't know if that answered that, but
yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, we want to thank you. First, we want to thank Tracy for discovering Kate and bringing Kate to us today. What a great discussion. We really encourage you to go back and listen. There were a lot of golden nuggets in here. And Kate, thank you for sharing your wisdom and your authenticity, and really for holding the masterclass on manifestation for us. We we love those. So again, thank you to all our new listeners and subscribers. And go ahead and share this with anybody you feel this will resonate with. And ladies, I wish you all a great afternoon.